Hi, let's get into video 3 of how to hear, know, and trust your intuition. This is the last video. This is going to be talking about how to trust your intuition. You have already gotten the tips on how to hear it. You have already gotten the tips on how to know when it is in fact your intuition speaking. Now, the most important part, how do you learn to trust it? How do you know to trust it? This is actually going to blow your mind, because how to trust your intuition is literally most of the steps in hearing and knowing it's your intuition. I'm just saying. So trusting your intuition is literally, once you are aware of hearing your intuition, once you are aware of knowing what your intuition sounds like, it becomes easier to trust it. They all go hand in hand. So, when you listen to your first mind and you start to notice that your first mind is normally right, then you will begin to naturally trust your first mind, and you will naturally be trusting that intuitive hit, okay? When you're understanding that your higher self and the God within you and God are your intuition, and you understand that God and your higher self will never, ever, ever steer you wrong, and you also know when it's your higher self and the God within you speaking, it becomes natural to trust it. Do you see where I'm going with this? When you are able to know your body's signals and listen to your body when it's trying to warn you of something or tell you about something, when you know your body and you're able to recognize those signs from your body, you'll trust them and you'll act accordingly. Okay? Now, when it comes to intuition, no message and no sign is crazy or coincidence. Okay? So, you get this sign, and it's the way it happened was crazy. Okay? It wasn't. It may seem crazy to your normal human mind, but that shit was divinely orchestrated to happen that way. There was nothing crazy about it. Crazy also, when we use that term, oh, that's crazy, it implies that it was like chance. It implies that like it was some kind of odd thing, could never happen. No. There was nothing crazy about that shit. Like I said, it was divinely guided, divinely orchestrated to happen that way, the way that it happened, so you would notice it. That's why it's crazy. It was literally designed that way so you would notice the sign. There's nothing ever crazy or coincidental about a message or a sign, because there's no such thing as coincidence. Okay? I personally do not believe in coincidence. I don't know if you do, but you shouldn't. But I'm not here to change nobody's fucking mind. You believe what you want to believe. But I personally don't believe in coincidence. There is no coincidence. Everything happens for a reason, and everything is a sign. Okay? Also, if you have to question if something was a sign, if you have to stop and be like, was that, then 9 times out of 10, shit, hell, I'll just go ahead, 10 times out of 10, it was. If you have an inkling that it was a sign, you literally have to think about it to basically convince your human mind that it was, because your human mind is the one telling you, nah, that wasn't no sign, that was just some crazy shit. No, it was a sign. If you have to really think about it or question it or wonder, was that a sign? Yes. Yes, it was. Okay? Yes, it was. What else with trusting your intuition? You can also do, this is going to be a very short video. You can also do exercises and things, etc., to train your intuition, test your intuition. Learn your intuition, which will help you better trust your intuition. Turn on your music playlist on shuffle and use your intuition to guess what song comes next. That's one way you can learn how to use and trust your intuition and train your intuition. What's another way? Like I told you in the last, I think it was the last video, about those videos that are all over YouTube, and you can like find one where the people are like, guess what color and shape stone is in my hand, or I'm going to turn this paper over, think of a number between 1 and 10, what number is on this paper. Those kind of videos are also good at training and testing and learn and teaching you how to trust your intuition. But honestly, the best way to learn to trust your intuition is experience. You're going to have to learn when ignoring your intuition causes you a bump in the road. And you're going to have to learn when you ignored your intuition. Like all those things, sometimes you have to learn things the hard way, but the spirit won't give you like these big dramatic ass situations at first. You don't get those big dramatic ass situations until you know that that's your intuition. You keep ignoring it, okay? But you will get little things to like let you know that your intuition is being exercised. I don't want to say tested. It's being exercised. You will have little signs, little things. You'll just see it. Like you'll be watching TV and you'll say something and then a commercial come on with the same thing you just said. Or you'll be sitting at a light and you'll just know when the light's going to turn green. Like those type of things. That's spirit letting you know that your intuition is working, and that's also ways you can trust it. Don't take those little things as coincidences, okay? They're not coincidences. You randomly think about somebody that you haven't seen in a while, and then you see them that day. That was your intuition telling you that you were going to see them. So those are things that can help you also trust your intuition. Start paying attention more. Also, I said in the last couple of videos, I'm not bleeding. That's hair dye. So if anyone was looking at that like, what's wrong with her hand? It's hair dye. Don't worry. I'm fine. But yeah. So literally trusting your intuition is going to be the culmination of hearing your intuition and knowing when it's your intuition, and then taking that information and basically learning your body, learning the way God communicates with you, learning the way signs and synchronicities and shit like that comes to you, and then trusting everything that you get. Trusting all the signs and all the things and the God within and all that. It requires you finally using the knowledge from knowing when it's your intuition and knowing when it's not your intuition, and knowing from trial and error. And that's how it's going to basically shape and teach you how to trust your own intuition. But other than that, guys, that's the gist of it. Once you master the first two, you will automatically begin to trust your intuition. And I gave you the little things you can do here and there to exercise your intuition, practice your intuition, test your intuition. Everything is a practice. Everything needs to be learned. So you have to learn how to trust your intuition. You have to learn how to hear your intuition. You have to learn how to know your intuition. All of this is going to be something that is learned, something that is practiced. That's just the way life is, guys. But I'm going to go ahead and end this here. This was the last video, guys. So take what you have learned and go forth and learn how to use your own intuition and trust it. And you'll be able to see how much power it gives you with things in your life and over your own life. But guys, I love you, and I will see you in another video. Happy intuitioning. That's not a word, but it is now. Happy intuitioning. Toodles!